So why don't we get into the final story of tonight? And that, of course, is Sydney Sweeney and Madame Web, saying here she's unfazed by the flop. And that's kind of funny to me because, you know, a lot of people have been kind of talking some trash about this, but here's what we know. Rising star Sydney Sweeney is taking the entertainment industry by storm. If you haven't paid attention, she is. Like, she is. She's only 26. She's producing multiple movies. Anyone But You, exec producer, immaculate producer, that she starred in both of those. Her and Glenn Powell are already working on their next couple films. I think ideas they want to work together that she'll probably be an exec producer on. But her latest big budget movie, Madame Web, largely missed the mark with not only audiences, but critics alike. Sydney Sweeney, known for being a Euphoria actress, mostly, she seems completely unfazed by the poor movie reception. Even at SNL, she made a comment about, like, you've seen me in Euphoria, but you haven't seen me in Madame Web. We all laughed at it because it's true. However, in a recent interview at South by Southwest surrounding her new film, Immaculate, Sweeney did address the Madame Web disappointment with a strikingly nonchalant attitude, according to this report, saying, I was just hired as an actress in it, so I was along for the ride for whatever was going to happen. That's it. She said that pretty matter of fact, too, according to the report. Her laissez-faire perspective highlights how Sweeney doesn't seem to be putting too much stock in the film's failure. After all, the rising star is fresh off starring in two other major releases over the past few months, the hit romantic comedy Anyone But You and the critically acclaimed drama Reality. Again, she's stretching her acting wings, and she's also getting into the producer side of it, which means she's taking her power on that specific front. And her power on that specific front is going to be one that does, I think, quite well with a lot of people. But, you know, when it comes to Madame Web, even though Sydney Sweeney is just like, whatever, I got paid, it's fine, I'm going to go work on more stuff. Dakota Johnson, while echoing similar sentiments, is kind of doing a little bit like more so, I guess, because she's expressed that she wasn't surprised by the lukewarm response. She was criticized, or she did criticize a trend of movies being made by committee rather than a singular creative vision. And I think for a lot of Hollywood right now, that's kind of the big issue, that it's mostly movies made by committee. That was something that I think we said mostly as a joke a while back, but now it's seeming more and more real, that these companies are just getting execs together in a boardroom, trying to figure out how to hit every single mark, how to check every single box, how to make it the biggest and widest hit that they can, without realizing that if you're trying to adapt a property like something like Madame Web, speak to your core demographic. And the core demographic was supposed to be women in this case. That's what they wanted. This movie was supposed to be for women who want to see superhero movies, but 64% or so of the opening weekend demographic were men. Were men. And the movie wasn't marketed to women, and the movie wasn't even really marketed to men. The movie wasn't really marketed to anyone. I mean, look, Sydney Sweeney is like your biggest and brightest on that cast with the assets to make Twitter go horny when she was on SNL a couple of weeks ago. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, they didn't play into that. Now, granted, she's supposed to be like, I think 18 years old or something like that in the movie. So it'd be kind of weird, to be fair, to have her marketed like that. But it's like, I don't know. I don't know what they're supposed to do. I mean, they clearly didn't do that. And that's probably for the best, to be honest with you. I'm making jokes, but it is for the best, probably to not sexualize 18-year-olds. But that being said, it's like, what do you do? What do you do? The movie was a gigantic flop, but she doesn't even really, know. She doesn't care. I mean, she's insisting that Madame Web was simply just an experience and was, kind of unrattled when reminded of the project during her South by Southwest interviews. Her relaxed demeanor, according to this report, stems from knowing she has several other buzzworthy projects lined up, including the third season of Euphoria, which is coming at some point in time. And her career is really on track right now. Her career is massively on track, meaning that she can do what she wants. So having Madame Web just kind of like whatever is not the end of her career in any circumstance. It's not. It's only getting started. Real quick here. Command Unit says the girls in Madame Web are abnormally sexualized. Are they? I haven't seen the movie, so I don't know. I mean, I haven't seen it yet, but I feel like they should have probably done more with that than if that's the case. Left Face here says, this is something I think normies don't understand. You get hired as an actor, you go and do the job. If the producers, writers, and advertising, etc. fail, why would the actor take that as a slight? Well, because their name and their face is all over it, to be fair. Their name and their face is all over it. So as a result of that, they are, they are wanting to be treated a certain way. They are not treated a certain way. They're putting themselves out there in a way where the writers, the producers, the directors, the marketing team, they're not. But they're also paid the big bucks to put themselves out there. They are paid to not only be a sword, but a shield for the movie as well, right? Like, so it's a very weird dichotomy, but that's obviously what it boils down to. And it's like, in the case of Madame Web, everyone knew it was a dumpster fire. And then Dakota Johnson was like, well, we're not doing another one, and I don't think I'm going to come back to work for the studio, so screw it. I'm just going to say what I want to say. And that's sad, to be honest with you. That's pretty sad. Let's see here. Music Man says they should have used them Sydney Sweeney titties to sell them. I mean, we talked about that, though. She's like, she's a teenager in the movie. I can't find a specific age. 18, 19, somewhere in there at least. But it's like, I don't know. Maybe that would have done more. If they would have put if they would have had more of her in the outfit, maybe that would have driven up momentum. Maybe that would have gotten dudes to want to go see it. I don't know. I have no idea if that's the case or not. It's very odd.